My name is Benjamin Orion. I work for FFI Brussels, the Foundation for Free Information Infrastructure, as full-time. Next slide. I try to explain you what's going on right now with after the defeat of the Software Patent Directive last July 2005 in the European Parliament. I call my presentation EU Software Patent version 3. The version 1 has happened in 2000 when the the countries, signatories of the European Patent Convention signed in 1973 tried to remove the exclusion of computer programs from the list of exclusions of the convention. Because it needed the unanimity, they failed to do that, and they decided in 2000 to go for an EU directive on computer implemented invention of software patents. In 2003, the first reading came in the European Parliament, and the European Parliament flipped around the directive in introducing clear exclusion of computer programs and only patentability of ABS style patents. In 2004, the Council of Ministers reverted the bill and introduced, with the help of Fritz Bolkenstein, new text for legalizing software patents in Europe. And after that, after the decision, after the political agreement, Poland decided that there was no, they would not support anymore the text that they have said in the Council that they would support. And with the change of the weight in the Council with the new countries, there was no qualified majority anymore for the Council to adopt its decision. In July 2005, after what the deputies called the most fiercest lobbying piece of legislation they have ever seen, the Parliament rejected the Software Patent Directive. So this was just 2 days before the vote in plenary, where the campaign called Campaign for Creativity rented a yacht on the waters near the Parliament in order to say to MEPs that they should vote for the directive. And at the same time, we had a demonstration in front of the Parliament where we asked our demonstrators to just take canoes and push this boat away. So this was really the conclusion of the directive. In 2006, just 6 months after the rejection, the Commission launched a new initiative to revolve the European patent system in Europe, asking people what they think about the community patent and the European Patent Litigation Agreement. So the European Patent Litigation Agreement can be seen as a new attempt to introduce software patents in Europe, simply because the main goal is to create a central court for patents, and since the countries has different interpretation of the European Patent Convention regarding software, the Central Court would centralize and give either a clear decision if such inventions are patentable or not. And this could be a chance for the EPO who grants right now software patents to have one of the judges at the Central Court and to legalize the practice they are doing. So this litigation agreement can have worse effects than the directive, which was previously rejected, simply because it can legalize software patents without any clarification of the law, and secondly because companies who want to enforce software patents could claim damages on the bigger market. Right now they have to go country by country, and the damages are calculated on the size of the market. What is dangerous is that the European Parliament won't have any power regarding the control of judges, and this kind of litigation agreement is a system outside of the European Union. So you won't have any parliamentary control. You will have only people who who run currently the European Patent Organization, who are mainly involved in the national patent offices. So that's what we call the patent establishment. And this patent establishment would appoint the judges and probably pick the right judges who would favor software patents in some way. Okay, I close it. Right now, the goal is to throw a spanner in this project. France and other countries are not happy with the fact that it's a non-EU project, and I would encourage you to write to your minister and ask them their position on the EPLA. Right now, the German presidency will push like crazy for the EPLA, and I would recommend you to contact your minister in your different countries in order to have their position, and finally to give money to our association so that we can continue to work forward. Thank you. I have also some flyers here. I will try to distribute on the EPLA.
Thank you for that. Next on our list is Sascha Poflep. Is that right? Right pronunciation? And this is on blinks and buttons?
Yeah, perfect pronunciation. Actually, I gave this. It's the slides from the talk at Pecha Kucha, and this is even 100 seconds more, so let's see how this works out. So I'm Sascha Poflep, and this project is called Between Blinks and Buttons, and was my thesis project at the Berlin University of the Arts, the UDK. And it's basically about networked objects. Next one. So here's a very classic example of networked objects, and of course a much better example is the Sputniks that you can buy here. And the project is about how things change when people get traceable through things, and how you can use this less from a security perspective, but more as a way to establish strange links between people. So the object, next one, the object that I was actually looking at is the camera, the digital camera, which was invented by this guy who was working for Kodak in 1975. And in my view, photography has changed in 3 parts since the digital camera. Next one. The first part is that there's actually metadata, which was also always part of pictures, as you can see in analog pictures. It had timestamps, and some people also say that Polaroids kind of reserve this white space for tags. And the second part is that people actually create archives of human experience. So they have Flickr, and Flickr, there's almost 1 billion images downloaded every day from Flickr. So you have this huge archive of moments, basically. And the third part is this, next one, that actually each picture represents a fraction of time, and time is part of photography, and time is also something that we share. Like time and space are the 2 big variables that we move in. So the basic idea actually was that you could look at synchronicity between pictures. So you can, if I take a picture and I take the metadata that's attached to my picture, I can go to Flickr and use the Flickr API to actually see what else happened in another spot in the world at the very same second. And I mean, there's shortcomings in the way that many cameras, or like 10% of the cameras, are not very correctly set. But as people use mobile phones, and as cameras and the mobile phones actually use time servers because they are connected to the internet, this is going to fade away, basically. So it's basically turned out to be 2 projects: one table-like installation and a portable object. And the table-like installation, next one, please, consists of an acrylic table, 2 projectors, and a mirror system here. And what you can do is actually next one, please, you can upload your own images to the surface from your phone or camera, and then you have this metaphor of a ray of time that's running vertically through the space, and you have this little, next one, please, this little object which you can then move over your pictures, and it's being tracked from below by a camera. And what it does is that it's running on Java, and it's asking a PHP server that's connected to the Flickr API to find pictures that have been taken in the same second, and they get refracted out of this prism-like thing and refracted to the walls of the thing. Next one, please. So you see basically someone else's photo that gets refracted out of yours, and it's very fuzzy, and it's meant to be like that because it's it's kind of intended to create some kind of link narrative. It's okay that runs between your picture and the other one. There's also a space reference because it gets refracted to a certain spot around here, and it's kind of separated into 24 zones. So if you know how it works, you can also figure out where the other image came from. And the other project, next one please, is actually it's a camera. So I went back to the camera and said, okay, if I can do the table, I can also make a camera that takes other people's pictures. So what you do, what you get is basically a blind camera where you just set the moment and someone else takes the picture. And recently someone called this momentography, which I found very beautiful. And basically it reduces the camera to the button itself. So it's like the button as a sensor for the presence of a person, and the sensor of, like, for you basically to set the moment. And the button actually comes from an Agfamatic 901, which is like, for me always was like the button. And if you press it, then it takes some time. It takes a few hours. Right now it's getting faster and faster actually. Like initially it took hours, and now sometimes it takes just minutes for people to upload it. And the more people use things like what's it called, Shozu and stuff like that, it's just going to be quicker and quicker. And then eventually, next one, an image shows up. And the funny thing about the images are that they are not as random as like everyone's image on Flickr, like the third row. It's because, like, you see this picture and it's half yours because you share the moment, and you have a memory of the moment when you pressed the button. So it's kind of, you have to relate to it in some way. So it's always special, no matter how enigmatic the images are. And inside is of course a mobile phone, which is running Java and connecting to the same PHP server. And this is next one. This is the website, and there's also videos and more documentation and stuff. And thank you for listening.
So, yet another view on things. Thank you very much for that. So next on our list would be very cool for schools. So where's Benny? Benny, are you here? There he is, in the very back row.
There's nothing up there yet.
It doesn't work over there. It's a feature, I think. There are officially 2 talks left, this one and the next one. But I heard several people asking me whether there'd be enough time to do anything else. So this is your chance to step in after that. Please be prepared. And I am not sure whether we can have this room for even more time. I didn't ask because I thought, well, if I'm going to ask, then probably get a no. If I don't ask, we just continue. So if you're happy to show whatever is on your mind, like any nice tool, operating system, project, or maybe even a rant, this is your time to think about it now and give us to it later. Did you just choose Windows XP?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have to skip this one.
Sometimes you need to fight someone with his own weapons. So.
That very good thing, but you have to please put this into the micro.
Oh, okay. Hello. The question I want to answer today is... Who are you? Oh, I'm Benny. And, well, I showed you how you find out more about me. Well... Do you know how to do it? Because it's not on there.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Alt F4.
Alt? Alt F4. Alt F4. It just closes everything.
Who wants to switch the video?
Function
Not-
F4.
Function F4, yeah. Should be written on keyboard.
How do you do this? Format